Okay, so I believe, let's just take a quick look here, that I'm thinking we're quite close to being at Destination Skellige. In Serious Footsteps, okay, yeah, that's just the overarching one that includes Novigrad, Veln, and Skellige. Okay, so there shouldn't be anything specifically in Novigrad for this. But for the secondary quests, I mean, we're waiting on high stakes. We're not going to do that until we probably go to Skellige first. So that means we have, what, Cabaret? And I think that's just about it for Novigrad. Everything else is, of the remaining things here, too high of a level for us to realistically do in this go-round. I mean, unless we felt confident that we could still do a level 29 quest when we're currently level 21. That seems like a big stretch. You guys were talking about how there's something, or at least one thing in the sewers that we'll definitely want to check out. We had to rush through there a bit as we were chasing that guy down previously. So, maybe we'll make a point of doing that soon as well before we head over to Skellige. Those are the two things I'm thinking that are on our agenda here. Let's see, oh, and we have the main quest as our tracked one right now. Let's change that. Let's activate Cabaret. Meet Dandelion at the Rosemary in Time. At last I was free, and never had the nectar of liberty tasted so sweet. No matter how I slurped, I could not imbibe it fast enough. I filled every waking hour, and quite a few sleeping ones, with fevered activity. There was so much to do, and so little time in which to do it. Since the Witcher had proven a true and reliable friend, time and time again, I asked him for help, and he readily agreed to provide it. Or so you think. We'll see about that. Suppose there's also the chance that we might find quests randomly as we're just walking around the city. Seems as though, oh, there's Zoltan just walking around. Good. What gives? What you doing here?
Zoltan.
Get out.
Have we tried playing Uniflight yet? I know we were thinking about it before. Were we saying that we wanted to finish other quests first? I mean, of course we have now picked up some cards. I'd imagine you're quite good, seeing as how you are a cards collector. I mean, it isn't grayed out, so that leads me to believe that we definitely have not played you yet. I don't know, I feel like...
talking to you, Zoltan.
Yeah, we barely talked to you at all. I have to imagine that he has some unique cards. If we were to play him, I feel like we'd want to save first, just in case it's a one-time thing. I'm curious, though. Oh, and also there's apparently people over here that we can loot? Sure. Don't know when that was left over from. Maybe that was recent. Maybe not so much, but we do have the inventory space to pick it up. Okay, Zoltan, now let's take you on.
Zoltan.
Get out.
I feel like you may just absolutely annihilate us. I would not necessarily rule that out.
Round of Gwent.
Let's give it a try.
I never refuse.
Actually, hold that thought. Nah, let's do it.
Let's play.
Okay, so I'm thinking we're probably sticking with Northern Realms here. And all the cards we've picked up as of late, like John Natalis, do we want to throw you in? Possibly. I mean, we have a ton. I mean, a ton of heroes at this stage. Can we just be going all out with our heroes? Is there a limit? I mean, it does seem as though it's keeping track of our number of hero cards here. It says we have 4 at the moment. Dandelion is somewhat like a hero, in that he has a very unique ability, but does not technically count. What if we were to say, I mean, these guys here are our weakest cards unless and until we get multiple of them in our hand at a time, and so it seems as though that's pretty infrequent that happens, and therefore these might be next on the chopping block as we're looking at which cards we want to remove from our deck. Other than that, Vesemir doesn't have anything special about him, just 6 strength, which is a little bit higher than 5, which was previously our threshold for getting rid of cards. I mean, that might mean that you're the other one that we'd consider getting rid of. And there's also... Hold on. Oh, I was going to say, this is definitely not all of our deck. No, those are specifically the ones in the melee row. Okay. Could potentially get rid of some weather cards. What else? Definitely want to keep all of our siege stuff. Similar to with what we were saying with Vesemir, Deathmold could make the same case that we might want to get rid of him. And same case you're making with the Blue Stripes Commandos could make with these Dragon Hunters. They have a little bit higher base strength with 5 relative to 4, so at least if you don't get the pair, it's not a horrendous card. So you could still make the case these guys would probably be pretty low on our list of how valuable of a card they are in our current deck. Even the Siege Experts, I mean, when we have a lot of Siege stuff going on, they can add up, but it is another card like the Blue Stripes Commandos and the Dragon Hunters, where it very much depends on what other things you have in your hand at the time. So that might be a reason to dump some of those. Like, if we were to just try to flood our deck with heroes, are we even allowed to do that? Okay, so there's 6. Do you have any more? Apparently not, though. Seems as though you're not telling me we can't do that. Generally speaking, I'm assuming that limiting the number of cards in our deck is preferable. Usually the case in card games where basically whenever you get a good card, that means you are able to remove a bad card. And so the probability of you having a hand of good cards goes up. There's no reason to hold on to your not so good cards and keep them in your deck. So I'm thinking we might want to get rid of the Dragon Hunters here. I mean, there's something to be said with having a little bit of versatility in terms of which rows we have cards to play. Because Siege is definitely our row that we're focusing on, because that's what our leader ability does, is double that. But are we okay with removing some of our only remaining cards for the other rows? Maybe, maybe not. Let's try getting rid of something. I think let's go with the Blue Stripes Commandos. And we still have enough cards. What's our total number of cards in our deck? Is 31. How many do we need? Is it 30? We need at least 22 units. Okay. That means we do need to have at least one of you guys in here. We're gonna have one. We probably need to have 2. Do we have any alternatives? Anything in the siege row we could put in? No. Okay, I think this is probably as good as it gets for us in that case. Let's try this. And like I said, we might find that Zoltan just immediately destroys us. I'm hoping that's not the case. Okay, we did get both Dragon Hunters, so that's good. Got a Spy, that's also good. Melee nerf. Okay, we have 2 heroes that will end up playing in the melee row, but of course they're immune to weather effects, so that should be fine. Some decent siege cards. So we only have, is it 3 of them in total? Not, wait, 1, 2, 3. Do we have any more? We don't. That's a little bit low, seeing as how our leader ability is dedicated to doubling that siege row. It's a little bit of a concern. It means we're not getting a lot out of that leader ability. We could, of course, end up drawing into more siege cards when we play our Spy. But I'm thinking if we were to try to get rid of a card, it would probably be Biting Frost. Of course, we don't know as to which row Zoltan's going to be focusing on playing cards. I do like, though, that we don't have any melee cards at all. And this one we're going to have playing on our opposing side. So I think that this is probably still worth holding on to. I think we keep this. I think we keep our hand. Not very often that happens. So I'm really hoping that you have melee cards, because of course this is useless if you don't have any. I mean, we'll at least play this, right? We'll start off with that, so then we draw cards, we know what we're dealing with. Card to a Siege Expert, that's good in this case. And double our melee row. Okay, well, there is a melee card. Okay, you played an amazing Spy. This one here. Which we saw, I think it was someone in high stakes play. The one person that we played in an alternate timeline. And this is, well, perhaps a signal that Zoltan's going to be quite good. I mean, the first card he played was nothing crazy. Just a 4-strength card was actually kind of bad. But this one's perhaps an indication of what we're going to see here. So the question is, how much do we want to try to win this round versus future rounds? Zoltan, do you use your leader ability, or is your leader ability the one that allows you to draw an extra card at the beginning? Yeah, draw an extra card at the beginning of the battle? Okay, so that means we're not waiting on him to do anything there. I'm thinking, I'd like to save our melee nerf for when we know Zoltan's going to be playing a lot of melee cards, but at the same time, it's hard for us to commit halfway to anything at this point. I suppose maybe with our heroes. Let's try throwing out a hero. That way we're not scorchable. Okay, you're doubling what? Ooh, range. I was really hoping that was going to be melee. Then I could have turned around and got like, not so fast. I mean, it does still double them, even after they've been nerfed, but doubling one strength units is obviously not a very big deal. And part of the reason why I was saying maybe we want to play the melee nerf this round is because we do have Dandelion, and Dandelion does double other cards in the melee row, so we do now have a melee card, and a melee card that is committing a lot to the melee row. Tell you what, after getting rid of those other melee units, we might want to get rid of Dandelion. There's just not a lot for him to do here. Like, we don't have any other melee cards for him to double right now. Since it doesn't work on our heroes. We could play another hero now. I mean, that would be going pretty aggressive in round one. Let's try it. Let's try it. Save Siri, because she's our strongest hero with 15 strength rather than 10. Okay, where are you playing? Ah, that's true. So, Scoia'tael has several cards that you can play in either the range or the melee row. So, of course, we would hope that Zoltan plays them in the melee row because we're capable of nerfing the melee row with this card here. However, but with him having doubled the range row with the Commander's Horn gear, there's basically no chance at all that he'd play anything in the melee row voluntarily, that he has the choice of going in either the range or melee row with. So for that reason, I'm thinking this, we're not going to get much of any value out this round, besides just nerfing this guy, so that will reduce you by 3. Technically speaking, that would mean that we would take the lead if we were to play that now. It just feels like we could certainly get a bigger play out of this if we were to save it for a future round in which Zoltan does not have a Commander's Horn in the range row and therefore is unlikely to play so many cards in range. You know, I'm anticipating that will continue to be the case here. So maybe we deliberately just throw out Dandelion here, because I mean, he's basically a useless card right now. He's 2 strength, which is not much. I mean, it'd be enough for us to tie. It would force Zoltan into playing another card. Maybe that is worthwhile. I just don't really think we're going to be getting many more melee cards, and like I said, we're going to be using a melee nerf in a future round. Oh, and of course, now you start playing more melee. Okay. I mean, if we do play the melee nerf, we're lowering Dandelion from a 2 to a 1, so it has almost no effect on us versus -3 for you and -4 for you. So, reduce you by 7. Yeah, that would have us take the lead. Not bad. So it's becoming a stronger option. Definitely want to save our siege cards all for the same round so that we can use our leader ability on that round. And because one of them is a medic, we definitely want to save that for later on. So if we were to continue to play more cards here, that would leave us with melee nerf. As I'm saying, that's looking more intriguing. Could go with the Dragon Hunters. If we are to play one, we're going to want to play both because they double each other if we play them together. So that means we'd be committing a fair bit. Or we have Ciri, who has a ton of strength in and of herself. I feel like if we were to play the melee nerf here, there's a reasonable probability that Zoltan would pass and take the round 1 loss. I think I'm willing to take that chance. Even if he doesn't, we're still in decent shape here. Oh, okay. Well, so he played this card here, which has normally 7 strength, but got nerfed down to 1 because of our melee nerf. Destroy your enemy's strongest close combat units if the combined strength of all his or her close combat units is 10 or more. So we do have, or we did have, this hero here, Esterad, for 10 strength, and then Dandelion was 1 strength. Our hero is immune to that special ability there, so that meant that we lost our 1 strength Dandelion. So, yeah, it actually is somewhat significant because that means that we have fallen back and now Zoltan is leading. So even though that was not really a huge play, it was still just enough for it to be significant. And the other thing is, as I was saying before, we don't have a lot of flexibility here. We're either playing a big card like Ciri, or we're playing a card like the Dragon Hunter that we would like to play as a group. So I think we do play one of these, and worst comes to worst, Zoltan passes, and we say, oh well, we split them up. They aren't as good as they used to be. So be it. Alright, but if you're committing to a hero, of course, again, heroes are immune to those weather effects, so Triss will be the full 7 strength. Does mean, though, that we can certainly follow up with another Dragon Hunter here. Does mean that we are now in Scorched territory. Zoltan might theoretically do that here. Oh, that is a fantastic card. So, it's a hero, so it doesn't get nerfed. So you get the full 10 strength out of it. It also gives +1 to all of the other units in this row. That is... Wait, hold on. Zoltan, this is the card that we got for you, that we tracked down for you from that quest, and then we didn't give it back to you. We said we wanted to hold on to it. And now you're using it against us? What? Did you have it all along? Did you steal it from us? This demands an explanation, Zoltan. Someone was not telling us the truth here. Either way, though, once again, he surpasses us by 1 point. That's a toughie. That's a toughie. Because now we're starting to get to slim pickings here with our cards. Like I said, we'd like to play all of our siege units together because we want to play them on the same turn, or the same round, that we use our leader ability to double everything in our siege row. We split up the siege cards between different rounds, then we aren't getting the full benefit out of that leader ability there. But we do want to wait for the Dunbanner medic so that she can bring someone back with her medic ability. Yes, there is Dandelion. We could bring him back, but he would be a 1 strength unit because we'd be bringing him back into the melee nerf. So that's it's not exactly a big play for what normally would be one of our strongest cards. So I'm thinking that we kind of play Ciri here, and I definitely don't like it. I definitely don't like it because Zoltan will almost certainly pass here. No, he is scorching. Okay, so we're still leading though. So we both had 10 strength units. They were both the highest non-hero units out there, and that's what Scorch gets rid of. Zoltan had 1 10 strength unit, whereas we had 2. So Zoltan did still win in that trade, but wasn't a perfect play. We are still holding onto a 4 strength lead though, so I'm surprised that he opted to do that. Especially when he now only has 4 cards remaining. So the thing is, any card we play here could very easily be overkill. And tell you what, I am tempted to pass. Because Zoltan will need to play at least 1 more card to pass us. That means he'll be sitting on 3 cards to our 4. Sure, he'll take round 1, well, presumably he will take round 1 in the process. But then that means we have more cards than him to win round 2. We will draw an additional card, because that's our Northern Realms ability when we win a round. So then we'll have additional card advantage for that. I'm feeling like that might be a decent option. Let's try that. Let's give that a go. So Zoltan probably only takes 1 card here to beat us. Oh, but if you're playing in the melee row, it gets nerfed. Oh, you need to play another card. Oh, except it was a muster, so it brought more cards from your deck, but you're continuing to play more cards even though you've already beaten us in this round. That makes 0 sense, but okay, sure. So, yes, he takes round 1, but he only has 2 cards remaining. So, presumably we'll immediately pass here. Yes. then that means what we do is we play our weakest card, which I know it looks like it's the K20 Siege Expert. It probably is. It only has 1 strength, but it boosts everything else in the siege row. We do have 3 other siege cards, so effectively it's more like a 4 strength unit. That is still the worst. So I think we do play you here, and we beat Zoltan by 1 in round 2 here. We pass. Then we draw a card, because we draw a card when we win a round as Northern Realms. That's our special ability. What's a decoy? Okay, well, actually, I was gonna say in round 3 that's not super helpful, but being able to get a medic back into our hand after having played the Dunbanner medic once does mean that we can use that medic ability twice. So I like that a lot. So that actually, this is a really good combo here. This is certainly the round in which we will play our leader ability here. Now, of course, Zoltan could potentially Scorch whatever we play, because whatever we play here is going to be the highest unit out there. So let's just not lead off with the medic. Let's lead off with any of these. But I think with only 2 cards remaining on Zoltan's side, we have 4 and our leader ability. Yeah, even if you have fancy schmancy heroes here, I think the only way you could pull this one off would be if you were to say, have your last remaining card be a spy, and with that spy, you draw additional cards, of course, and from the cards you draw allow you to, say you draw into a medic. So the medic allows you to play cards from your graveyard, and then basically just some crazy combination that allows him to play a bazillion cards, even though it looks like he wouldn't have any. So, okay, this time, now the medic is safe to play, because the highest non-hero unit out there will be the Ballista. So you can hide behind the Ballista and bring back, actually, I think we bring back one of the Dragon Hunters, and we'll use the decoy to bring the medic back into our hand. Oh, yep, okay. Your last card was a medic. Who do you bring back? A spy. Yep, okay, not exactly the order I was saying you might play your cards in. I was saying spy into a medic, rather than medic into a spy, but functionally the same thing. Okay, so then what we do, though, is we use the decoy to replay the medic. And that is the range nerf is unfortunate, because I was planning on playing the medic now and using her to get back our other Dragon Hunter to double the Dragon Hunters, but if they're going to be nerfed down to 1 strength, doubling 1 strength units into 2 strength units, not a huge deal. We can't bring back heroes with our medic, so these guys are not an option. Well, we don't exactly have many great alternatives here. Actually, Dandelion, although he's only 2 strength himself, does double other cards in the melee row, and you did give us a spy in the melee row, so I think the answer is actually Dandelion. We'll play you. We could have gone with the K20 Siege Expert as well, to give +1 to all of our siege units. Wouldn't have been a bad idea, and of course, had I known that your last card was going to be melee nerf, then I definitely would not have played Dandelion. But that was your last card, and we are already beating you, and we still have 4 cards to play, so we have done it here. We saw some questionable plays from Zoltan in round 1, and so that meant that round 2 and certainly round 3 here, when we had such a huge card advantage, was almost a given.
Seems I
It's
won.
not so bad after all.
Right fucking shock, given your frankly amateur deck.
Excuse me?
Here, take this card. You need it. You'd do well to fix your collection. It's downright porous.
Excuse me?
Don't need you bringing me shame. A good
We beat you
dandelion for
comfortably. Thank
that.
you.
Might skim something off your mate, Roach. He's said to have good cards, that one.
Oh, really? Oh, old pals. Okay. New quest. Let's check it out. Does that mean Roach, like you said? Dandelion? Did you say we could potentially play him? Win a unique card from Vernon Roach? Okay, Roach is next. But it seems like this could be an ongoing type of thing, given how this is supposedly in multiple locations. Okay, so do we stick with the Gwent theme here? Or do we go for Cabaret next? Let's try Cabaret. We'll mix it up a little bit, and then we'll go back to Old Pals. I just am fearful that because this doesn't have a number listed on it, that I'm totally going to gloss over it. I'm going to see multiple locations, assume that we can't do it here in Novigrad, and just go straight to Skelga, not realize we could do this now. So, mental notes. Try not to forget this one. But we'll go to Cabaret next. Meet Dandelion at the Rosemary and Thyme. I think we were technically on our way to that as we were running into Zoltan here. That's probably where he's going as well.
Looking to make some coins.
Beat you there.
Look awfully suspicious to me. Trap.
Excuse me? Who you calling suspicious? Just a witcher. That's all. Hello?
Oh,
Thanks. Everyone's so kind to us today.
To be perverse, cheap, poor, watered down wine.
Hey,
Hello?
I can't control what
Talk
I
to Dandelion? Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, we can definitely do that. What about Priscilla, though?
I know, which is exactly why
Not
I'm
really?
considering.
What was that about?
She spat in my face. Or might as well have. Called me a whoremonger and a witless hack. Can you imagine? Wit is my forte.
Gotta say, Priscilla's really growing on me.
Save it.
And why don't you save your pouting? Prove to her she's wrong.
Exactly what I plan to do. I've always dreamed of having my own cabaret. A bit of paint and plaster, and this place will do splendidly. Just one hitch. I need coin.
You don't say.
So, if you happen to get a break between drowners and ekamajigs, maybe you can help an old friend out.
Actually, still trying to hunt down those ekamajigs. Haven't found any yet, as it turns out. They're quite elusive. Ekimaras. Seen a few of those. Ekamajigs, though, yet to find them. Can't I just lend you the coin? How many coins exactly do you need? And also, there is a bank not far from here that you could theoretically get a loan from as well. But hold on. Why a cabaret?
Where do you get this cabaret idea?
It's been a dream for years. Ever since we went to see one in Oxenford. Remember? The dancer hanging from the chandelier? And once she was completely downside up, she called you over and...
I remember.
Carol's like, you
How
can
could
stop
you
the story.
forget? And this place will be even better, I promise. That is, of course, if I can scrounge together the funds for some remodeling.
Alright. So, what can we do?
How can I help you?
Assuming we say yes.
I dated this girl once, Sophronia. That's a name if you can believe it. Has a merchant for a father, importer of spices from Zeracania. And Daddy Dear would never refuse his daughter Dear a thing.
What's up,
We could
Arumi?
borrow the
How are you?
coin from her.
Sophronia, that... Have we met this person? We did, once upon a time, hunt down some old acquaintances of Dandelion's. Is this one of them?
Name rings a bell. Isn't this the woman you abandoned without saying a word? Stepped out for a bottle of wine, never to return?
Dandelion.
I bought that wine for a reason.
Long time ago, that.
Been away a while, sure. Which is why I need to draw on your authority.
Huh?
You've got some, you know. No matter what you might think.
What exactly do you mean, though? Where do we come in? What is your
Fine.
plan
Tell
here?
me what you want. Got a feeling you've a plan all cooked up.
Sophronia could still be holding a grudge after our unfortunate parting. But with a touch of help from you, I know she'll forgive me. And then give me that loan.
I don't know about that.
Entail?
First of all, we need to borrow a dull sword from Madame Arena. One of her props. You know, the kind they use during performances? Get that, then meet me outside Sophronia's house.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for stopping by. Happy to have you. Yeah, so if we're doing all the dirty work, then what is Dandelion doing here?
Let's say I agree and go see Madame Arena. What will you be doing in the meantime?
Something I have to finish. But I promise I'll do it before you come back with the sword. Then I'll tell you the rest.
Alright, if you say so. I mean, we did just rescue you and basically save your life, and now you're immediately there after asking us for another favor. I don't know, Dandelion. Then again, that's kind of the way this dynamic goes, isn't it? Always bailing you out.
Daryl, the only butts in this plan will be the ones filling my seats. It'll work, you'll see. Get the sword from Madame
Different
Arena
kind of butt.
and meet me outside Sophronia's at sunset.
But point taken. See, there's Zoltan. We beat you in. We raced you back. Okay. Our
Has he
prop
schemed
sword.
up this time?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Okay. Let's head over this way. And by borrow, is that borrow in like quotes? Air quotes? Borrow, you know what I mean? Or are we actually going to get this person's permission to take this prop?
I was faffing about minding my own business when suddenly up he pops and heals me.
Move on.
As they say, a
Let
bard
us see.
must be a quick
Okay.
talker, and a witcher a quick stalker. All's in order.
Well, I mean, we're basically buddy old pals, aren't we? We did stage a successful play with you.
So good to see you.
So, let's ease into the whole we are asking for a favor thing. You and Dudu, you know each other well? I mean, supposedly, you two have had a few run-ins. He's helped you out, has he not?
You and Dudu know each other well?
Yes, though he's never told me much about himself. He was a merchant once?
Dudu always had a penchant for enterprise. Probably too honest to succeed in Novigrad, though.
Precisely. I've told him countless times that no matter how many times he changes his appearance, the good in him will always emerge.
No. That's sweet.
Bloodthirsty tyrants and vicious assassins. He played them so poorly. That must be why. Whereas he always made for an excellent trusted servant or ghost of the old king.
Okay, if you say so. But as for the actual reason why we're here,
Got a request. Need to borrow one of your props. One of the swords you use for stage battles.
My, whatever do you need that for?
I don't know. Dandelion
We don't really
claims
know.
it's essential.
Oh, yes. I suspected Master Dandelion might have a hand in this.
yeah.
I certainly hope you don't aim to compete with me. Well,
Thanks. I'll try not to.
I mean, we
damage
are an expert actor now. So, you should be afraid. Very afraid. Okay, so meet Dandelion near Sophronia's house after dusk. Okay. Sure thing. Let's check just how far away is this place. Do we be trying to fast travel, or can we just walk this? We can... Yeah, I think we can walk that. Here we are, like, right next to this fast travel spot, but even then... Fast travel here, is that really much closer? Maybe a little bit, but at that point in time... I'd argue, perhaps, not worth it.
Oh, fuck.
Demon!
What? Who are you calling a demon? Oh. Maybe that's this guy here? Hey, man. You did not really get engulfed in flames the way I was expecting you to get engulfed in flames. That's what I'm looking for. That's more like it. Yeah, civilians, can you just, like, step back a little bit here and let the Witcher go to work? Like, you just completely ignored that, didn't you? You just did not care. Oh, look, the guards are coming. That's cute. It's almost like you're trying to do your job. Now, when someone tries to take an empty vase from a bin, you'll come rushing to stop them. But oh my goodness, if ever a bandit were to show up and try to attack someone, mug them, that's just too much. Also,
doing something reeks
okay. Just ignore the floating sword over there. Don't mind that.
Look awfully suspicious
Oh,
to me.
right here. Okay.
Those
Assuming
creatures
it's
would burn a rainbow if they
on this elevation, or okay, no, right here. Looks like. Is it nighttime? I guess. Or not really.
Ah, finally made it. Listen, here's the plan.
He works in weird, unknown
loves
ways, exactly.
adventure-filled romance novels. I can be a hero in her eyes if I can just save her from a bandit. I'll have her eating out of my hand, and there's no way she'll begrudge me that loan.
Sure that's the way that works?
Want me to be the bandit?
Knew you'd see the sense in it right away.
Just acknowledging the plan, not agreeing to it. Not a chance. That could be good, but, I mean, sure, you're putting on a bit of a scene, yes, but not sure the whole cause and effect thing, you've really worked that part out to its fullest. Not entirely sure it's gonna work, but...
Are you serious? That's your brilliant plan?
I never called it brilliant, but any kind of plan is better than none. Written your lines already.
Debatable.
You've written what?
Excuse
So
me?
you know what to say during the performance. Here.
We acted in one play already. That was enough.
But...
No time. Sophronia's coming. Stick to the plan. We'll meet at the Rosemary in the morning.
Alright, if you insist.
Stop right there.
What is this? Help! Save me!
Sure. Read the card.
Flaxen-haired wench. Bow before the Prince of Thieves.
So convincing, Carol.
Not so fast. Drop your sword, scoundrel. This is your
Oh my
first
goodness.
and last warning.
Dandelion!
'Tis I.
How did you know?
Though the scum of the city call me the Crimson Avenger.
I've never seen this man before in my life.
No, not the Crimson Avenger.
Anything but the Crimson Avenger.
Silence, vermin. You shall regret the day you were born.
Oh no. He's level 1. What happens if we, like,
Temple Guard!
block him?
You're better than I thought.
Go on, Dandelion!
Come on, Dandelion.
Crimson Avenger!
Thought you were the Crimson Avenger. Thought you could do this, no problem.
Temple Guard!
Alright, fine. Oh my goodness. Oh, the agony.
The
Oh, my
Crimson
spleen.
Avenger triumphs again.
My hair! Are you well?
One blow struck true.
There we
Another
didn't
scar
clear
for
us sword
my
at all, but
collection.
sure.
Come inside. I shall bandage you up. Be gone, vile bandit, or the Crimson Avenger will beat you senseless!
Is that so now? True experience for taking down the most difficult enemy we've faced yet. Suppose we did technically lose to him, but meet Dandelion in the morning at the Rosemary time. Okay. Yeah, I suppose so.
Those were the days.
We'll see if Dandelion can actually get the real part of the plan to work. You know, the part where he asks for a whole bunch of money. And the hope is that she says yes because he saved her life, if you will. Okay, more people running for their lives. Are you afraid of the Eternal Fire Priest? Or is it something else? Oh, there's some kind of enemy over here, it seems.
Give us a kiss.
This guy? Don't like the way he's looking at you? He's kind of just minding his own business, to be honest. I don't really see the problem. Just let him do his thing. He's not bothering you. Not bothering me. Guards don't seem to care.
Switcher. I know who burned the hunter's quarters down.
Okay. We'll just head back to the Rosemary time in that case. And ignore all these guards that are not doing their job. And is it... Can't really tell what time of day this is supposed to be. Is it technically both night and day simultaneously? Apparently so.
You're here too early.
We agreed to meet today, so
Oh.
we've come today. Supplies are all hauled in and the crew's raring to work.
Huh?
We'll start just as soon as our lovely directress gets round to deciding on the decoration.
But Dandelion doesn't even have the coin to pay you.
That...
Turns out he does now.
Shouldn't
Soon will.
say that.
At any rate, he's working on it.
See,
we don't really
it's all
know
peachy. So
if that's
will
true
you
yet.
finally decide what style you want for this interior.
I'm surprised you are insisting on doing the work when we have just outright said that we may or may not be able to pay you. That's kind of important. Alright. So, yeah, why are you asking us? But I suppose, what are the choices? Are we making the decision on Dandelion's behalf? I mean, that'd be kind of nice after we did all the work for him, right?
What are our choices?
Master Dandelion said he was torn between boudoir style and theatre decor. Promised to let us know his choice as soon as we arrive. Now we're here, but no decision's been made. And the lady's horribly surprised she's to choose.
Really?
Apparently this whole renovation's for her sake.
For me?
What?
It's not for me.
Something tells me that was maybe
Decide
supposed to
where I
be
bust a
a little
vest.
hush-hush, secret under the table, that kind of thing.
No idea what Dandelion would like. Geralt, you've known him longer. Say something.
I don't know. I was half expecting for us to be timed on this. Like, oh my goodness, the pressure. Need to decide right now. Let's see, cabaret's theater of a kind. Decor should be theatrical. That could make some sense. I'll be honest, I don't really know what boudoir style means. Better fit for a cabaret. Like, I actually have no idea what that means. Dandelion is doing this for you. You decide. And that also is perhaps somewhat true. So sure, let's figure out what this means firsthand. I mean, the logic here seems to make sense, but I'm curious what this would actually look like, so sure, try it.
Boudoir seems like a better fit for cabaret. Just don't go overboard on stuffed upholstery.
Oh,
A wonderful choice it is. At last.
like,
Gentlemen,
Taxidermy?
you're done lollygagging. Get to work.
huh? That does seem kind of weird.
Well, guess this cabaret's the real thing.
Ever since Dandelion inherited this place, he's talked about it constantly. I just never expected him to take action. And so quickly.
Who knows? Might even settle down now. He'll have to keep an eye on the business. Who would have known?
Despite what people say about him, Dandelion approaches life very rationally.
I don't think so.
We talking about the same Dandelion? Man
No,
who loses a fortune
definitely
with
not.
half of Novigrad in one night?
Dandelion can also be responsible.
Hmm.
He always pays anyone who works for him on time, and he's never missed a performance.
Sure hope your opening won't be the first. He's still not here.
Well, he said as soon as he got the coin, he'd go see Polly, our choreographer. She's missed the last few rehearsals. I
Okay.
certainly hope he's not gotten into trouble.
Anything's possible with Dandelion. Let me see if I can't find him.